The thought of putting any type of billiards room into our home can be exciting. It's exciting because we can almost see what having it is going to be like. Between the pool table, a seating area, a small bar, and some conversation pieces used as decor, your home is going to be the top choice to have a drink and relax at for a couple of hours. Friends, both new and old, are going to be delighted when you send them an invite to come over. But this excitement can be a deceiving ecstasy, distracting you from what you know deep down to be inevitable. If I don't set this room up correctly, none of these visions are actually going to occur in real life. And if I can't make that happen, is there really any purpose to the room? The gut feeling is absolutely correct. If you want this room to have longevity and that you, as well as your friends, continue to want to use the room after one or two times, you'll have to find ways of making the room itself just as interesting as the activity taking place within it. Dropping a pool table in the center of a bare and uninteresting room is like saying that you should visit Chernobyl because it's a nice day outside. One doesn't make the other better. So how are we supposed to do it? How do we take a room with no personality and turn it into something that keeps us coming back for more? Where do we even begin? Feeling scatterbrained is common. So today I'm going to show you how we designed a pool table room in a sort of layered process that can really help simplify things for you if you choose to copy this approach. If you're a returning subscriber, hit the thumbs up. If you're new here, hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be a subscriber. Remember that if you would like my help in designing your room, you can have that help by clicking the link in the description down below. John is a subscriber of the channel, and he contacted us after buying a new home, which was a flip project. He, like so many others who have bought a home from a flipper, quickly felt a mix of emotions after the purchase because of how plain the theme of the design is. You've bought a new home, that's exciting. Everything in it is new, great, but it feels like a hospital inside. The home was completed in a bluish gray wall paint color, and it had gray LVP flooring. John's goal was to redirect the design completely to a modern, masculine, and inviting home. He gave us free rein to use any paint colors that we wanted, add any materials we saw fit, and use our discretion with furniture and decor. The pool table room was so important to the home's overall presence because it's situated immediately at the center of the floor plan. Therefore, John wanted this room to have a real impact and be a sort of statement room for the entire house. Modern industrial was going to be the design theme that we were going for in this area, but as you can see, there is nothing industrial about it. So we had some work to do. A few requests that John had. Since the floors were brand new, throwing them out and replacing them wasn't something that he really wanted to do. He preferred to keep that gray LVP. And a quick side note here. On their own, there's nothing wrong with gray floors. There are incredible interior styles out there that utilize gray flooring. It's only when everything else in the room is also grayscale. That's when it becomes really tiresome. Another thing was to have somewhere for guests to sit when either not playing pool or simply watching the game. A bar table of some sort to enjoy a great beverage would be nice. Displaying some of John's interests were also welcomed. This includes an appreciation for vintage trucks, motorcycles, exotic cars, and golfing. Now that you have a lay of the land, let's show what we did, how we went about doing it, and how you can also do it. Barely recognizable, just the way we like it. And a super cool space that will keep people coming back just to see it again. I do want to mention something which I've never mentioned in a video before, and once I do, you'll likely begin to view rooms in a different way that will be really beneficial to you forever. Room layouts that are pleasing to the eye are visually attractive because of the patterns being created by imaginary lines. When you design all of the time, this becomes second nature to you, and you no longer think about it. But as someone who doesn't do this as often, remembering this principle is helpful. If you can piece rooms together through geometric shapes as if it were a game of Tetris, you are light years ahead of anyone else who is unfamiliar with this concept. It creates harmony and balance among the pieces in the room. It eliminates overcrowding. It ensures that everything serves a sort of placement purpose. Let's talk about the layering process and how this approach can help achieve a design like this. The first step is to start from the outsides and work your way in. This is supposed to be industrial, but before we start thinking about furniture, we've got to figure out a way to cover up some of the gray drywall and change the setting to a space that replicates as if we were in an old factory. Brick is an excellent choice to help you do that. The brick that we're using here in this room is meant for interior purposes. These are prefabricated tiles that are only about a ½ inch thick, which makes the installation of them much easier as a decorative wall section or a floor accent. It provides the same authentic look without having to hire a mason to achieve it. Exposed trusses are also an excellent representative of the industrial style. We've spoke about that in previous videos. These decorative beams look authentic on the outside, but they're actually hollow on the inside. Because of this, they're much lighter in weight and can be mounted with relative ease. Not a single one of these has structural significance in that they don't support any type of weight, but we have them set up so that it looks like they are authentically bracing the structure of the house. The far wall is now looking a little neglected as we've added materials to the other walls. For a recreation room like this, there's two things that we could probably use more of. The first is storage space, and the second is seating. So what we chose to do was place a storage bench creation along the entire floor line of the wall. You may be thinking, well, that's cool, but why? People make a common mistake when dealing with large windows that stretch down from the ceiling close to the floors. They've made that mistake in the original photo, and I'm glad they did because now we can use it as an example. When you treat this area like a normal wall and put standard height furniture in front of it, you interrupt the window line and it throws off the alignment. Tabletops and beds are huge culprits of doing this. We wanted to navigate around this mistake that's often made. The fireplace facade is a glossy ceramic tile, which is supposed to be replicative of marble, and of course they have it in gray. Neither the sheen of this nor the material is very accurate as to what you would find in an industrial setting. We replaced this with a matte porcelain tile in a charcoal color. The earthy texture and the natural tone complement the style we were creating or going for much better. The outer perimeter is now done. So step 2 is going to be stacking on top of the first layer. Yes, the outer walls are much more interesting than the plain gray walls we started with, but they're not finished. If you've watched a couple of the videos that we have here on the channel, you know that I've mentioned 3 pillars to a great design: color, texture, and dimension. This is us working on dimension. Choose some of your favorite mountable decor and art and start placing it on the walls. If you have utility needs for the room like we did here, we needed somewhere to put and display the pool sticks, this is the time to consider that. Be mindful, though, of the space that you have available to yourself. You don't want to go overboard with mounting things on the wall because then your first layer of the design is completely lost. Side note, if you want a free room design from us, there's a link in the description below to have that chance. Step 3, furniture and main pieces. Imagine this room only having what we've discussed thus far be complete. The brick is on the walls, the wood framing has been added, the storage bench is installed, the artwork is mounted. Can you see how much easier it is now to choose furniture in large pieces? It's very hard to go wrong. People make it harder on themselves when they buy furniture without direction and then try to mold the room to fit the furniture. Look at what we would have so far and then ask yourself, could I stick a brown leather chair in here? Absolutely. It goes very well with the color palette. Could a black wood tabletop go in here? Of course. The The color black and the material wood are both used here. Should I stick an orange suede chair with gold legs in here? No, it doesn't make sense. Step 4 is not required, but it can be fun, the statement piece. There are plenty of interesting things happening within this room, but the undeniable star is that motorcycle bar cart. Statement pieces can be luxury items that supersede the other items in the room in terms of monetary value. They can be unique artworks that are more rarely found. They can be a niche or a quirky item that speaks to your personal interests and personality. Whatever it may be, even if you think it doesn't exist, I encourage you to do a Google search for it because the internet is a large place. We still wanted to incorporate a motorcycle in this design, and we still needed a bar display. And wouldn't you know, someone out there was making and selling the piece that would provide both of those needs. You have now seen the creation of a room in a layered process. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you feel like sticking around a while, feel free to subscribe. See you on the next one.